I'm in the airport, I rest. The brother give me the fear, the premise of death. The work with my life without fear.
I live
Master.
Clé pali suo me konyo ake Sktv benyo. Se ma cheni tina ke ase ma jamu. Enji sano muni emu aye yo. Enji lofa mui emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmaster.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Somalia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Somalia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Nigeria ya tumale. Sktv, ena Nigeria, tosi wako maya tumale.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmaster.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the globe. For the top people who waiting to sell. The flesh that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Backwater, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
The high rates of people overstaying visas and also make progress on the Safe Third Country Agreements. Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal, all very vibrant places with very valuable land, great minerals, great oil deposits, and wonderful people. Last month, the U.S. Africa Business Summit had recorded an attendance and attendance record, actually generated $2.5 billion in new economic deals for the United States. On June 27th, the foreign ministers of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda visited the White House to sign a historic peace agreement that we worked out. They've been fighting for 30 years, 7 million are dead, and they think the number is actually quite a bit higher than that. It's been a long and vicious fight, and I just wanted to say that the countries represented were very happy that we were able to solve that problem. But there's still much more to be done, and we're going to be facilitating peace also in places like Sudan, where they have a lot of problems, Libya, and others. We have there's a lot of anger in your content. We've been able to solve a lot of it. My administration is committed to strengthening our friendships in Africa through economic development efforts that benefit both the United States and our partners. And we're shifting from AID to trade. We had AID, aid as we sometimes call it, right to trade. And trade seems to be a foundation that I've been able to settle a lot of these disputes, like as an example, India and Pakistan, Kosovo, Serbia. I said, you guys got to fight, we're not going to trade. And we seem to be quite successful in doing that. We encourage the countries here today to make greater investments in defense. Hopefully, of course, buying our equipment, because we do make the best defense equipment. I think you proved that about 2 weeks ago in Iran. We make the best equipment, best military equipment anywhere in the world by far. There's nobody close. And keep pursuing the fight against terrorism, which is a big problem in Africa. And once again, I want to thank you all for being here, and it's an honor for me. Some of you I've met, and some of you I just got to meet, and I think it would be nice if you said a few words to the press, which is right back here.
We are not wasting time. As we are giving our offering, they'll start giving you your food and your drink. Those online with me, you will only be eating with us.
And then I hope we can bring down the high rates of people overstaying visas and also make progress on the safe third country agreements. Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal, all very vibrant places with very valuable land, great minerals, great oil deposits, and wonderful people. Last month, the U.S. Africa Business Summit had recorded an attendance and attendance record, actually generated $2.5 billion in new economic deals for the United States. On June 27th, the foreign ministers of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda visited the White House to sign a historic peace agreement that we worked out. They've been fighting for 30 years, 7 million are dead, and they think the number is actually quite a bit higher than that. It's been a long and vicious fight, and I just wanted to say that the countries represented were very happy that we were able to solve that problem. But there's still much more to be done, and we're going to be facilitating peace also in places like Sudan, where they have a lot of problems, Libya, and others. We have there's a lot of anger in your content. We've been able to solve a lot of it. My administration is committed to strengthening our friendships in Africa through economic development efforts that benefit both the United States and our partners. And we're shifting from AID to trade. We had AID, aid as we sometimes call it, right to trade. And trade seems to be a foundation that I've been able to settle a lot of these disputes, like as an example, India and Pakistan, Kosovo, Serbia. I said, you guys got to fight, we're not going to trade. And we seem to be quite successful in doing that. We encourage the countries here today to make greater investments in defense. Hopefully, of course, buying our equipment, because we do make the best defense equipment. I think you proved that about 2 weeks ago in Iran. We make the best equipment.
Yeah, best to come on we've been fixed with some technical glitches, but howbeit it's good to be here. Yes, it's good indeed. So again, folks, we're back. Yeah. I know there are a lot of you have been thinking about how come, but again, we're going to play out of these videos. We'll play the one, sometimes when you go visit, and when the visit will be good, you will know from the beginning of the interactions. So again, we'll play some of the videos, but again, folks, please, let's share the show. Yeah. Monk, what are you saying, Monk Sawit? Yes, indeed, please like, comment, and share. Yes, indeed, we've been faced with some technical glitches, so we have to come on a little bit late. But it's good. It's good that at least we were able to be here, God be God. Look, there's a saying that if you live long, so many things you will say. That's why the birds, those of you, when we see these things, you want to get angry. Yeah, that's why the birds, this bird don't pray for big feathers. That some of you are praying for horse, you're praying for car, you're praying for this. Every day you are praying, you don't even know all these things you're praying for. The day God get vexed and say, okay, let me give you everything. In fact, some of you won't be able to even manage any of these things that you've been requesting for. That's why the best thing to request for is life. But it's good, people. Good to go. Yeah, so Ali is here, people. Please share the show. Yeah, please share the show. Today's Wednesday, right, ladies? Oh, yeah, indeed, today's Wednesday, having to be the 9th of July. Like I said yesterday, a monk also buttressed me when the month start from day 1 all the way to day 5. That means that the defense system. When you start entering between the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then you will know that's the Murphy rule. By the time the month hit the 15, then you know now that you are about now to do the what we call the struggling and the finishing touches. So that's the thing. So again, we'll bring you all of the highlights from the US, from the great people of the United States of America, where Donald Trump, God, life is good too. Yeah, Donald Trump and that of our African leaders, especially 5 African leaders, and they are stayed there. I think they're feeling already. But Ali is here, Monk is here, no need to waste time. While we do the sharing of the show, we'll also be doing our little chip in talking until at least we can reach up to 400, maybe 400 to 500. Then we can go straight into our conversation. But Mark and Brother Ali, good evening. I know it's afternoon time to you people, and today is a good day, at least for us Liberians back home watching all of the happening there. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yeah, Mayborn, what's up, Mom? If you are not to count on today, then I already know the enemy of the state. You know, our president spoke the kind of good in the first achievement that can give up. $2 billion to add to our 1.8. Then you count on. You are coming.
Miami are forced to count on. Even if he said, look, this one the country get wahala or more before you come on. Anytime when people looking for places, they always say Liberia. They will just look for something good about us, that what I like about the country. Mongo,
no, we'll always be mentioned because Liberia is one of the oldest independent African republic. Don't forget, Liberia was a founding member of the League of Nations, and the League of Nations preceded the United Nations after World War I. So Liberia will always be recognized, even though we are behind time, we're struggling at the moment economically in terms of progress. But when it comes to the historical aspect, nobody's going to forget about Liberia. We were very instrumental in settling conflicts around the world and being part of signing treaties to bring peace and stability, whether it was in the Congo, even the creation of the Jewish state of Israel. Liberia was also a part of that meeting. So Liberia, we got some history too. So we'll always be respected. It's up to us not to maintain that respect and to keep improving on it. But historically, we'll always be there. So that's it.
Yes, indeed, Mark. Thank you. But quickly before we go, because we stay sharing the show, those of you who just joining us, I don't know whether you're finding us from Sano, like my brother Jeremiah Kule, also finding us from Greenville City, Sano County. Let me say indeed, thanks to all of you. Please, let's share the show. If you want to hit 400, then we'll go straight into our, the topic at the right time when we're having such interactions with our world leader, Donald Trump. That's the best time to discuss some of the things happening, economy, and so forth. But Mark, any other things apart from maybe the president visitation and so on that you want to chip in with quickly while we do the sharing of the show?
I was busy. I was a little busy this morning. I saw something in the front page Africa concerning the incident we show on the show in Sano County. I didn't read the details of that particular article, but I saw something about that on it, and that's a good thing of Sktv. Sometimes when we highlight this thing, we'll be oscillating between the front page Africa and other major newspaper when it comes to events in Liberia, and they cover that. But I will go through the details later, hopefully. And the whole thing about the budget shortfall, the same rigmarole, even though the president is scoring some big time point. But if you cannot get the horse in order, it means nothing on the international scale. That's the thing with smaller African countries. Yeah, you want to appease the West, you want to show out there that you are doing great. But when you look at the realities on ground, we are not in congruent or in alignment with the kind of image we try to portray on the global stage. Country like Liberia, we are not a global power. We are not even a regional power. So any president that will concentrate on his domestic affairs, trust me, they will always do better. But when you only want to come to the White House, when you only want to go to the European meeting, when you only want to meet ambassador just to go there for photo ops, but then at the end of the day, you can do the least thing back home, then it's worthless, because at the end of the day, there's nothing that will be shown for your action. And so I believe people should concentrate and focus more domestically than on the international front, most especially for the case of Liberia.
Yes, indeed, Mark, you are correct. Let me see what about Ali. Okay, good. Ali is here. So maybe you have another thing that you want to say quickly, then we move on to another talking points quickly before our topic of the day. But again, Ali, what's some of the things happening that maybe that you've been noticing or maybe you've been following throughout the day?
Maybe ready. The only thing I've been waiting to follow today was our president, and that's all I just been waiting on today. Well, so far so good. I've never been following anything. But one more just talk about front page Africa. I think this morning we discussed that city, and we're waiting to see what will happen from these people, or those people who went and then scrape people butt naked, beating them, they kind of modern age and time, or because of witchcraft allegation or any other thing. So far, this morning we discussed it, and I don't think that's something good there for our country. Well, that's all. Nothing else.
Well, so again, while we move on and quickly before we come into maybe other things, yes, the president stay away and the country, as you may be aware, the president was called on by the American president Donald Trump, including other 4 African countries to make it 5. So that means there were 5 African countries that go to the U.S. for the African summit, or as you may call it. And today we've been watching to the match day 1. I think they will be there up to the 11th. So to the match day 1, and Liberians across the country. And today, if some of them were listening via radio, or better still, some of them were also following through the internet. So I think these are some of the trending national issues. Apart from what Monjo talked about the budget shortfall, and I think Monk said that maybe let's go back into the economy and see exactly what is happening, what are some of the effect of these things. Because if the budget maybe having to go to the first quarter, or they call it because they call it the first quarter, but it is 6 months because it's 12 months altogether, 1 year. So if the budget of around 800 million have to go for the first quarter and nearly 22.03 million shortfall, then that alone, it is indeed alarming, according to all of most Liberians. People are even concerned about that. So that's what we'll be looking at today. But again, Mark, let's go back to the president's visitation. What do people get from there? Let's start with you, Mark, because I think the 5 presidents, all of them talk, and they were asked, and I think they speak out. But I don't know what do people get from that entire visit, the first day of the visitation.
Well, a lot happening behind the scene. For me, I don't follow these photo ops, because what you just saw on the screen, that what we call the photo op, the real negotiation and deal making will happen behind the scene. They won't be on camera. So usually I follow these guys, most of the economic advisor, policy makers, how they call them, geopolitical strategies, how they be analyzing. I was listening to this morning on the podcast. I got this podcast I listened to, and they had like people like Bob Lehazer, they had like Peter Navarro, they had Larry Kudlow, the top economic advisor, putting ideas together, and about the opportunity. It was very interesting that Africa possesses or unlimited opportunity in terms of commercial diplomacy. Now, the thing is, it's all about the foreign policy. People got their way how to do things. That's why in America, when you go to cast your ballot in an election, we don't vote for individuals, we vote on ideas. It's a new administration with a whole different approach. And the whole idea is America is trying to got 2 objectives. We're switching from aid to trade, because aid is a model that we have been using for over 50 years, and it is yet to work. There is not a single African country on the planet that can tell us that they make strides or that they have improved tremendously because of aid. It doesn't work. According to the non-congressional office, they came out with a statistic that said that only 12 cents of every dollar reached a poor African country. Can you imagine someone claim to be giving you $1 in aid, but on every dollar, you are actually receiving only 12 cents. And 12 cents is a drop in the bucket. It's almost like the analogy I keep using on this show. You are in a hole that is 12 feet deep, and someone gives you a ladder that is 3 feet tall. They pretend to give you a ladder, but they're not giving you a ladder. They want you to stay in that hole. That's just what it means. And now this administration got a whole different perspective that if you want to do business with us, then we got to focus on trade. Because when it comes to trade, that mutual benefit, you get something in return, I get something in return. And at the end of the day, you can concentrate and see how well you can move your country forward. That's it. The whole idea that somebody giving you something free, it's a lie. It's just gamesmanship, and you're not making any inroads with that. So why not try something different? And I was listening to Peter Navarro. He was talking about the economic. There was a pact that was signed in 2000. They called the African Growth Opportunity Act. It was out of Congress, and they are trying to improve on that with the new administration, talking about there will be no tariff on African goods for more than thousands of products coming from Africa to America. They will increase trade and investment. It will be duty-free. Can you imagine you bringing your product from Africa and you got zero leverage, or zero tax or duty on your product coming to the US? That will be a lot of opportunity there for people to explore. So the only thing I'm looking at, if Joseph Boakai is capable of holding your own, because I believe he got leverage, he got all the cards in his favor, but then, it's almost like a soccer game. You're good on paper. And maybe you know what I'm talking about, right? You are the favorite on paper, but then you have to go on the field now and execute. That's why I want to see.
Oh, yes, indeed. Indeed, Mark. So let me play the video of our president quickly, Brother Ali, before you come on to give your own take on the entire issue. So this is the first remark or the comment of our president, President Joseph Yemam Boakai, making a case for the Liberian people. So if you are out there, indeed, this is...
We did in Liberia at your embassy. Mr. President, we thank you for this opportunity to be here. Liberia is a longtime friend of the United States, and we believe in your policy of making America great again. And we also go a long way with you with in your diplomacy that has to do with economic development and commercial friendship. Liberia has a lot of minerals, and one of the things we ask as good friends for a long time is the opportunity to do a survey of our minerals. Mm-hmm. And also we are committed to peace, and we've been very lucky within our region. We are a country that have had series of democratic elections, and our country has been cooling down. And also we want to encourage American involvement in the investment in Liberia. Yeah. We'd like to see that happen. We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region, because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. It's such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well,
Very
and
good,
they come from.
Wonderful. So that's it. Those of you who may not have access maybe to internet, then you are following us via the radio. So again, that's the post, or that's the first comment of your president, our president, President Joseph Yemam Boakai, making a case for the Liberian people. And you listen to the friendly conversation between he and that of the president of the U.S. about the English and so forth. But again, that's good. Good way to go as people. So Mark, yeah. So Mark, I know that you will come back to that. But let me get to other Aliu. Then we just put everything into the into our topic, the economy and so forth, the budget shortfall and so forth. But Ali, what say you?
Yeah, maybe so far so good. Today the first day. The summit start today. We get tomorrow and we get Friday. So we wait to see. President Boakai is outlining all the resources we have. So if now, because this whole thing is about give and take, America, we will not be working here 24/6, and they be taking our money, the taxes we pay, to be sending it to other countries to enrich themselves. They be misusing our tax, we the taxpayer, our money. So this is give and take. It's all about trade. You gave me, I gave you. There is nothing free. So President Boakai outlined all our resources, the mineral we have. So I want to know if America decide to do business with Liberia now. So you expect America to be the one to go and do survey of your mineral before they can do business with you, or you will do your survey so they can know the mineral you get and the value, the worth of this mineral. But so far so good. Today is the first day. We look to see what will happen tomorrow and the coming days. Yes, that's what I have.
And I have a few questions, but let me just start with Mark, with the issue of the president recommending the U.S. to come and do a survey. I don't know what that imply? Why I'm a bit confused. I don't know. Maybe
he can come and do a survey, or he assumed, or he said that we have done our survey already, like a reassessment of our mineral. I didn't get that.
I don't think
he was asking Trump to come and do a survey of Liberia's resources.
Okay, let me go.
Go back there,
yes.
Yeah, play it again. Maybe I didn't get that.
We don't want our people to think that maybe we are making up things here.
Isaac was extremely wealthy. Genesis chapter 26.
We're at your embassy. Mr. President, we thank you for this opportunity to be here. Liberia is a longtime friend of the United States, and we believe in your policy of making America great again. And we also go a long way with you, with in your diplomacy that has to do with economic development and commercial friendship. Liberia has a lot of minerals, and one of the things we ask as good friends for a long time is the opportunity to do a survey of our minerals.
Wonderful. One of the things we ask, so I think I go back more so that you can get exactly what you were saying.
As good friends for a long time is one of the things we ask as good friends for a long time is the opportunity to do a survey of our minerals. And also
Wonderful. So more you get it?
Yeah, I got that part, but it's still a little bit tricky to me. One of the things I will ask, because I know when you come in, I mean, if that was what he meant, then it means that's a bad sign. It's like you are showing your hands already, because you don't go into a negotiation, especially when it comes to commercial diplomacy, and you're telling the other guy to come and do an assessment of your survey. So how are you going to rate your survey? I mean, how are you going to grade your mineral? Then it means you are showing weakness there already. And I think Trump is going to take advantage of that. Before coming to the table, you told them, know why you're coming to the table. That's why I said yesterday, America knows exactly what they want. Can we make the case for Joseph Nyiman Parker? Can we make the case that we are coming to the negotiating table? We'll be talking for a position of strength that will have leverage that we can use against America to get the most. But if the president is insinuating that Donald Trump in America should go and do a survey to reassess our mineral to tell all the world, then it means that is the beginning of the end for them. Speaking of the negotiation, that's a bad thing.
Actually, I'm really happy about I think this is big confusing. Well, Ali, what say you? That
because
maybe other people should come and do survey for you.
Yeah, because for us, we know much about geologists, but minus that said, well, first of all, if this is like what Mon said, what are you bringing to the table? You should be able to do your survey, and then oh yes, I get diamond, I get gold, I get timber. You're supposed to do your survey and come and tell the people your diamond, the worth of your gold, and all of these things. But if you asking them to go and do survey, so if they do survey, they say, okay, yeah, this is why your mineral worth. What will you do? You should be able to know the worth of your mineral. That's why you bring it to the table. You expect them to go do survey and bring it to the table. So if your mineral worth 10 billion and they tell you say what 8 billion or 7 billion, what will you say? So I think that's the first mistake.
Wow. Because
actually, I enjoyed the way the president started the conversation, but that particular part, it was
yes,
not,
actually, yes.
Well. I mean, the English is great. I mean, the communication skills. I'm not going.
Yes. I think make everything clear. I think for Donald Trump to understand what he was saying, and that was very clear. I like it for that.
It's not about which country you come from. It's all about your presentation, your oratory.
Yes.
Speaking is a skill all by itself. Just because you speak English doesn't mean you're going to come across as an English-speaking person. That's just what he meant. And the thing here is, the thing he talked about, not only the economic aspect, he also talked about peace and stability, regional stability, and he talked about the transition. There are a few countries in Africa that can boast about the easy transition of power, and that's
right in the region.
Yeah, in our region,
right in my region
that have been going through this series of power changing hands from one administration to another without any political instability. That's a good thing for Liberia. My only thing with the president opening statement was the idea that we are asking about reassessing our resources, because maybe it's almost like I'm selling something to you, you are the buyer, I'm the seller. and you ask me, Cyrus, what is the president? I say, Mama, you know what? I don't even know the value of my own
Give me
product.
anything.
You tell me how
Yeah.
much give me.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me anything. That's scrap one for the president, but he can stay. They can stay somersault and do something differently. I'm hoping that he come across better when he come. I'm not interested in the camera. That's what I keep telling you. When president makes trip, I'm not interested. Whether you go and sign agreement, I'm not interested. The only thing I'm totally attached to is the details. Like they say, the devil is in the detail. I want to see the fine print. I want to know the clauses. I want to know the restriction. I want to know some of the economic opportunities that will be better for Liberia in terms of jobs creation and economic boom. That's what I'm looking for. Anything other than that, I have to care less.
And more to that, to you and that brother Ali. Maybe we'll just take little time on the entire topic, because most of the African leaders, I think, if now maybe 3 to 4 of them, well, in fact, they were also speaking about the same issue of we have mineral, we have, all of them, they're just saying the same, but their buyer is very poor. So how will you be rich, according to you, that you are rich, you have all the riches and everything, but then you are poor? So, like, you make certain statement about, the U.S. is now getting tired of just giving people money, or maybe A, as you call, you're giving an A now, and thinking about how best that they can do their own work instead of just being given it all of the time. But Mark, this question to you and Brother Ali. All of our leaders, they go there today with a presentation that, yeah, Africa is rich, come and do business, come and do this, we get gold, we get diamond, we get there, we get. So, Mark, this question to you and Brother Ali. Who's stopping them from investing and making their people's lives better?
Ali, you want to go first or you want me to go? I think Ali's basically in the back. Hello? Maybe when you get it?
Yeah, Mark. So go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, what was the question again? Please read from that question.
The question is that who's stopping these people from making their people's lives better? Because every time when they go to the summit, when they go to the places, they always go, we got this. We have all of the riches. We have gold. We have mineral. We have everything they will name all. But at the end of the day, the life of the people is zero. So how come all of these minerals that they keep boasting of are not making no impact in the life of their people?
Well, nobody's stopping them. It's just how we've been groomed. It's just how we do things in Africa. Nobody's going to question Africa mineral wealth. There is no continent on the planet on God green that possesses more natural resources and mineral than Africa. Last time I checked, the richest country on the planet was Democratic Republic of Congo. They are estimated to be worth more than 24 trillion. But they are one of the poorest countries in the world. It's not about what you get, it's about what you can do with what you have. That's the difference. And they got something they call the resource paradox, wherein they are studied that countries that are naturally endowed, they always tend to have political instability, more corruption, they are underdeveloped. When you look at Asia and the Western world, they cannot boast of resources. But the one thing that they do have is what they call human resource. When it comes to research and development, they are always thinking every day. There's the only country, and many other countries in the world, I would say European countries or industrialized countries, Melbourne, they spend billions of dollars. Can you imagine? They just pay researchers, Melbourne, go into a laboratory for the next 10 years, we'll finance you. Just go and think to come up with new idea, new technology, new innovation. That's just what they do. So they are not counting on natural resources, but they are counting on their brain, because the brain is the most powerful resource on the planet. It all depends how you can use it, and that's why they keep doing. Look at Japan. Can you name more resources that Japan possesses, or South Korea, or Singapore? No. But guess what? They are using their brain. So it's not about what you have. It's not about the gold, the diamond, the cobalt, or the lithium. It's all about what you can do with them to add value to them. And in the case of Africa, that's what we are lacking big time. When it comes to industrialization, when it comes to innovation and new ideas, no, we are not there yet. That's why we are still poor. And matter of fact, even when they are giving resources, the corruption, the stealing is what.
That's a point right there.
In the Western world, they are not the most powerful in the world. But remember, when the American man is about to undertake a project, let's say an infrastructure project, and the city or the state or the federal government allocate $1 billion. Yeah. There will be people who will eat few dollars here and there, but at the end of the day, more than 85% of that amount will go towards the project. You will see the outcome of the project. You will be convinced that the money that was given was spent on that project. In the case of Africa, 3 guys will steal something that will benefit 1,000 people or individuals. 3%
If I say 1 million people, more you talk about
that's why it's a different. That's why we are still stuck and they can call themselves the first world and we can call ourselves the third world because we are not there yet. And until we can change the way how we do business, trust me, nothing is going to change for sub-Saharan Africa, mostly because there are other African countries that are making great strides, like the South Africa, they got a foundation, Kenya. We can compare ourselves to this country, but there are other countries that are catching up. And all they are doing, they are focusing. Look at Burkina Faso now, the latest story. Look at the Niger and the Mali. These guys are playing a different set of rules and coming up with new and innovative way to improve their people's life. I just hope we can do the same. But you woke up this morning again, you heard about budget shortfall in your country, that people are not paying into the government consolidated account, that state-owned enterprises that are generating money internally, they take it to their personal bank account. So how can you make progress in the situation of Liberia? We're not going anywhere anytime soon. Same thing.
Thank you, Mark. So that's the right answer that I've been looking for. Maybe Ali will chip in also, but corruption is eating us. Corruption is killing. Even if Joseph Walker come back home tomorrow with 5 billion, we'll not even know where our money will go. That's the kind of country we live in. That's the kind of society that we live in. That when you talk, people get angry. But that's the fact. You have all of the resources. Every now and then you go out there, you carry your people's name. You are only representing the country because you are president. When you go out, you carry the country. When they gave you everything that maybe the country needs to survive, the money you're talking about, 5%. 5%. The president, the vice president, the speaker, the deputy speaker, and the senate per member, 5% eating more than $1 million per. I don't even know whether it's per day or how you may even call it. 5%. But guess what? 5.2 million people suffer. And we're suffering. And that's the fact. So Aliu, what say you on the question?
I think Ali is busy.
Right. Yeah. So I think so Mark, so let's just transition now into the our main discussion here today with the entire 17 the first report came out from the host. It says 17.85 million budget shortfall, but then later on the ARA own report claimed that no, it's not 17.85 as you claim. It's $22.03 million shortfall into the first quarter of our national budget. And Mark, I don't know, but when you're talking about the SOEs are not, I don't know, what are they not working among or they're not able to generate some of the monies or what's going on?
No, they gave a host of them that are not doing that due diligence when it comes, I think, or Beer Mountain was one of them, or they talk about, what did they talk about again, if I'm not mistaken? The problem here is there are some entities that generate revenue, right, internally. And you like get to the foreign ministry or the LPRC, these are all state-owned enterprises, right? I mean, like the LPMC, the Freeport, they are generating money on a consistent basis every single day. People pay taxes, right? Or duties on their goods and services. The fact of the matter, your job is you collect the money and pull in the government consolidated account. But every year it's the same old nonsense. That's why I keep saying it's not about a kind of a gesture that the president is going to make on the international scene. It's all about what you are doing back home. Because let's assume, even if we strike a better deal with the US or any European country or European ally or any allies from around the world, if you cannot get your house in order, you're not going anywhere. Because it's almost like putting water in a leaking bucket. You're stealing from yourself. You cannot make progress. How can the government make inroads in terms of development, education, and healthcare when the funds are so be coming in the government cover? You're taking it and putting your personal pocket to your personal, in your personal bank account. And it always been the case. Those self-generating entities in Liberia, they are not in the business of putting the money into the government consolidated account. And at the end of the day, when these guys make the projection about the budget, they will never come anywhere close to their projection. A matter of fact, even the lawmaker, can you imagine? The funny thing I heard is they're already stealing, they're not making money, and the lawmakers are going to approve another $4 or $5 million for revenue mobilization. I was like, are you kidding me? The existing revenue mobilization, you're not even getting the money to the government cover. Are you telling me that you're going to spend another $5 million or $4 million to improve the process in terms of generating government or revenue for the government? Come on, man. They are all criminals, The only difference is the lawmakers, they are in one branch of government, and the state-owned enterprises, they work directly under the president. So you got They are all criminals. They get work in two separate branches of government, and they're talking about bringing it to the president.
But more quickly, maybe are you said now already?
Yeah. Maybe you're sorry there. You're sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead?
Maybe you are saying something, and this is what been happening from time to time. Our government officials, the moment another country promised them, oh yeah, we're coming to give you 10 million. Before that money even get into the country, they already deciding how they are going to share that money. And these are some of the things. You see, when I travel, I came to the country, when I told the girl asked me, where are you from? And I said, I was from Africa. And she was like, but what you came to do here? I said, why? I said, but you people are rich. Africa has all the natural resources. And sometimes I can really be wondering why you people will leave all of the resources and coming to America. When are we going to turn our resources into wealth? These are some of the things. We get the iron ore, we get the diamond, we get the rubber, we get all of these things. But yet then stay, we are poor. And today when you go on social media, people are writing all kind of foolishness. Oh, President Trump only invited the people because he want to take their resources. He's not forcing you. You are not forced. Okay, like now they asking our president, and he telling the people to go and do survey. So it's up to you. If you wanted to go and do survey to come and do business with you, that's up to you. But you should have done your survey and know why your mineral worth. So if you get now, you know your mineral worth 500 billion, and then another country say, okay, yeah, I can do business with you, and then they want to bring you down, you go to another country. If they didn't call them here, they are not kids, they are all adults. Okay, if you come to an African business, somebody that invited you to, you should know why you bring it to the table. You should know why you want the best for your country. Donald Trump put the interest of America first. So if you can come here, you can put the interest of Liberia first. That's your business. Who cares? So we should be blaming our leaders. So people who talking say he called them because he want African people resources. That is up to them. You want to give it, fine. You don't want to give it, that's your business. But just know that you are not going to get no free more aid from America. It's give and take. We have to be working, they be giving our money to people to enrich themselves, flying private jet or building mansions and things. No. The time for that is over. So if you get your resources, use it wisely to benefit your country and your citizens. So that's it.
Hello? Mabel, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, Mom.
I think Mabel muted himself because I'm seeing him speaking, but we can't hear anything.
Sorry, yes. All right, good. Thank you.
I wanted to chime in what Ali said. Right?
Okay.
Like, now what I keep telling you, this country is not going anywhere in your lifetime. The report just came out through the review of the fiscal year spending, right? And the budget performance, and we're talking about budget shortfall. And from the lawmaker, they are telling you that most of the state-owned enterprises, they were not remitting funds into the government consolidated account. So you know exactly what they did? They went and passed or they passed an agreement. What they did was they came up with the idea that they passed or the horse pass or loan agreement with the African Development Bank so that they can borrow $5.1 million to improve domestic revenue mobilization. So what the average person doesn't understand in Liberia is the guy that in the legislature, where they are saying send the people under the president's tool $6 million, we will get our own indirectly because that's why it's all about. Because we've been talking about domestic revenue mobilization, but even though we've been spending on that process, we cannot see the outcome because people are still not remitting into the government account. So the question you ask yourself is, why would lawmaker pass a law on an agreement to go and borrow $5.1 million to improve revenue mobilization? It just technically their own way say, okay, say you guys stole $6 million, we are about to see our version of $5 million. You know, it's tit for tat. Anything you can do, we can do better. And it was the reason the last time that the Supreme Court justice said we need our share, because when you look at the budget and the way how money is being spent in that country, most of the stealing happened between the two branches of government, the executive and the federal.
Exactly.
Anytime one group steal, the other group must do the same. That is why they're coming and now they're going to the African Development Bank. They are going to borrow against the national budget in the name of improving domestic revenue mobilization. When in reality, is just to see their portion of the 6 million that we cannot account for from the state-owned enterprises under the executive branch. Can you imagine that?
So, Mark, I'm getting latest update that the Acetameter has confirmed that Liberia's 30% equity share in the company has been reduced to 15% through a board meeting. So the 30%, oh God, the country. What? So from 30% to 15%, the other 15% go to who? They go to the board people, right?
Oh yeah,
so what did you expect?
We are losing more. We are already not doing great, and then even though we are doing worse, we're still going backwards, because when you come from 30 to 15%, it means that 50% of the stake that Liberia owns now is being taken from us to give it to a few individuals.
So from 30%, the board members they agree that okay, Liberia 15%, man. Liberia deserve 30%. You see where you placing your country, Monk? Man, you're right. All the monies you were here, all of the names, those of you who are there today, look, you will dance. Don't dance for free, because most of the monies name that you'll be hearing will go to the people, their family members, to their relatives. They will buy homes, they will buy horses abroad, and they will get rich at their own detriment. That's the kind of society we live in. People will go out there and represent. Just imagine, Monk, from 30% to 15%. 50%. So why is not 15% going?
No, you're not explaining the right way. First of all, when it comes to the country stake in most of these concession agreements, you're talking about anywhere between 40 to 45%, right? That's the average now. I'm talking about in deal making now when it comes to the nation stake. Some people can say we would get up to 60%, but that would be like nationalizing the corporation. So it means the country own the majority stake. So I would say, to be hypothetical, let's say 40 to 45%. Now, in your case, you are giving 30%. Then the 30% they're going to split it into two. But trust me, if you go and do a deep dive, that 15%, there will be people within this government that will benefit from that 15%. So they prefer throwing the country under the bus for few people to benefit rather than benefiting the entire country or the Liberian people stake in Acetameter. And this is why we keep talking about, my brother. We are not poor because we are not endowed naturally. We are poor because we are just some of the worst sophisticated. I don't know if I can put the two words in the same phrase. I mean, we are some of the most sophisticated criminals in the world when it comes to moving the agenda of the country forward. It's just sad for Liberia, and it's not going to change maybe in my lifetime. That's something that I know. So for me, I'm not bullish about the progress of Liberia. We keep saying it because I know no matter which president comes to the White House, no matter which deal they put into place, when it comes to implementing domestic policy and focusing on the Liberian people, nobody will be able to do that. It will just be one group of criminals after another, and you won't see the end anytime soon. That's just exactly why it is.
But I did not go back to the budget shortfall. I think the question will also go to Mark. Would the entire thing going to maybe have impact on who is going to affect maybe the citizens or the government official? Would the entire budget shortfall? That make it simple for our people so that they can know.
The budget shortfall just going to suffer with the commoners, the common citizens. No matter I care what they talk about budget shortfall, these people they will say get a huge salary setting. They get means of creating money. They will find means to get money so that their salary can go down. So that budget shortfall, moreover, we the citizens we are not getting anything. They see wine in new bottle. That's the city. They were under the sea Gafua we have budget shortfall. Okay, and under the sea Gafua again we have another budget shortfall. So it just putting wine in new bottle. So what do you expect? The CEO people that were with United Party for 2005 all the way, that is the people that keep back one bowl. So they are the commander going to feed the pinch. Not these people. You can have budget shortfall for now to Joseph Wakai tell you they will never feed it. Okay, that the citizen going to feed it.
So what say you would entire budget short? Because mind you,
if you can get state-owned enterprises that are supposed to contribute towards the budget, and then they are raising money, and then they put it like Monse in their account, and they don't contribute to the budget. But at the end of the day, again, they are getting money from the budget. So what sense does that make? You're supposed to be able to contribute to the budget. You're not contributing to the budget, but when they bring up budget, you're getting your own accord for the budget. You see, so I rather know how we run in our country.
More quickly, we have 880,661,874 cents, or so for what you may call it. That also go back to the 2025 national budget. So they say it's 800 plus million according to the Ministry of Finance and then that of the Liberian government, and that budget has been approved and so forth. And 87.9% of that budget will go for recurrent expenditure. That means that all the 100%, 87.9% will go for paying people. They'll be spending money on things. They'll be doing days. All kinds of things they'll be spending money on. Then portion of that money, I think nearly 12 point something percent, will go for development. But then when the budget shortfall, what's going to happen to the development?
Well, I mean, I'm surprised for you to be on Sktv to be asking me that question, because I believe a little bit redundant, because we talk about these guys, their business model when it comes to the lawmaker and or your public officials in Liberia. I think we'll be going for the news break. I don't know if maybe you wanted to chime on this topic, or we should come back and then we can close up, because I'm looking at the time. You are 2 minutes on top of the hour, so I don't know if we can do it when you
get so
on.
what we're going to do is that I think we're going to allow you and Ali to remain on the platform, because sometimes when we go for the news and that Facebook will give you a little troubling with the with the sound system or what. So I think you will hold on a little bit, then after the news bulletin I will join you in that. So again, to our people, indeed, if you just joining us, this is the Sktv show, the Wednesday edition. Thanks to all of you for following and keep following the show. You know, all we do here is for better Liberia. Nobody hates anybody, nobody against anybody. We want our leaders to do the right thing for all of you out there who are not able to talk or maybe speak out, because there are a lot of you, there are a lot of teachers, nurses, health workers, you know. Some of them, every time they're calling us, they're inboxing us, oh, the thing is a live, that is I'm not, you know, I've been through this and that, and they can't talk. Civil servants, you know. But so that's it, folks. So we got to go for the news break, Aliu, and that Mug, you can take over from me. After the news break, I will join you people by 7:15 our local time here in Liberia. So yeah.
So you guys going for the news break on the radio, and we will just continue until they can get back, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, then we'll take over. I think we can manage for the next 15 minutes. Ali and myself, we can hold the ground. Ali, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mom.
Yeah, I mean, we will address that problem on the radio. I mean, the question that Milburn just asked, I mean, it's just so funny that you're talking about taking these state-owned enterprises here to the president. Like, we will see what Joseph Boga would do, because if the president want to talk about corruption and fighting corruption, and he comes in to appease the worst and taking people to court, I don't know why we keep hearing about people from state-owned enterprises not making remittances into the government coffers. That should be ground for immediate termination. If I had the president, the moment I get back, I will make a decision concerning those folks. I will call for a special meeting. We will get to know the names of those state-owned enterprises that are refusing to put money into the government consolidated account, and it should be gone in a heartbeat, because you cannot be that. This is why people got problem with Joseph Boga. I understand he's not going to investigate himself, because it will be up to the next administration to do that job. But why you are president and why corruption and injustice and taking the Liberian people resources, then you might as well start setting an example in your own government. I mean, you don't need to carry them to court, but at least you can fire them rather than just suspending people and keeping them on the sidelines, because it just doesn't make sense that you got a budget shortfall only to find out that people that controls or that head these state-owned enterprises, they're not making remittances into the government account. It's so sad. And I don't know how you can make progress, no matter what you do in the international scene, in terms of mobilizing resources. If you cannot be accountable domestically, then it's a waste. That's how I see it, my brother. So you can go ahead.
Yeah, because these state-owned enterprises, I don't really know what power they get to say they can contribute to the budget. You see, and just what you said, the president, these are people you need to fire. If you're talking about fighting corruption, all of these things, why should people be working under you and then they're supposed to contribute to the budget to make sure your government function well, and they say they can contribute to the budget? So, well, at the end of the day, let's see how it's going to work. Maybe he will only call them and warn them, or you suspend them, and once Joseph Boga suspend you, just know you have been fired. So that's how the whole thing going to be. He suspend you, just go and rest yourself. Because if I government, when they suspend you, just do your own to God. So Joseph Boakai the government, the previous administration, no suspension. You thought say you remain there, but Joseph Boakai, if I will just suspend you now, whatsoever you took, go and enjoy yourself. But I don't think that's something good for the government, and most especially sometimes when you say this thing, the amount of years Joseph Boakai spent in government, the break of him having for the 2 years experience, and for us to see this kind of thing happening, sometimes it baffles me. Really, I don't really know. But when you say it will be hurting other people. And this is why we were talking here the last time. You should be proud of what you put out there. If you can sacrifice, you campaign for this old man, he get for the 2 years experience, all the year he spent in government, and to see this kind of mistake being made all of the time. So you should be ashamed of yourself instead of trying to find all means to defend him. And the issue of suspending people, if President Boakai continue, the government is not going anywhere. Because people will say, let me just do it, and you suspend more, he will suspend me too. And that's how the government will be. Everybody can just do anything, they suspend you at the end of the day. But these people that are heading these state-owned enterprises, they really need to see the president. Let him go back. Let's see what he can get to do with them. Well, I don't think that's
the thing is, why I see here is it's almost like a culture. It's almost like a standard operating procedure for them. Because look, the culture that exists in Liberia when it comes to the governance structure in Liberia, it just entices people and it encourages them to steal more, right? Take it for example. Let's say you are the managing director for the National Port Authority, and you are given a once in a lifetime opportunity in the corrupt society of Liberia. Matter of fact, these are some of the reasons why people advocate for something or transactional, payment being automated, right? Wherein people don't have access to cash. And that's one thing we do here and in other countries. Because look, people can be tempted. What are the possibility in a poor country like Liberia? Let's say you're a custom broker, and at the end of the day, you're able to walk home with maybe a couple of $1,000 per day that should be going to the government account, and people are walking away with those funds. And you are given a job as the managing director of Freeport or the LPRC, people that never had the opportunity before. What are the chances in your lifetime that you will ever be the managing director for a port for an entire country? So they believe when they go to these particular state-owned enterprises, they are giving like a green light to steal in the quickest time possible. So they turn the government consolidated account away and fund their own personal account. So at the end of the day, they will always be reflecting the national budget. That's what's happening. So whether the LPMC or the LPRC or the LEC, all these state-owned enterprises, no, because they sort of be generating money for the government on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, it's not how much you are collecting, it's how much you are putting to the government's account. Because the government itself is counting on you to make those remittances into the account to be able to push the president's agenda. But like you said, it's up to the president. He could come and take some drastic action because it seems like from one administration to another, that's what keeps happening. And it's not changing. And that's why I said maybe Liberia need to try something different, because this whole model that we keep running is just not working. And we've been seeing it from one administration to another. Manasali government cried about the same thing. It happened to the Weah government, maybe if not worse. And now it's happened to the Joseph Boakai government. Whether it's about budget shortfall, and most of the time, 90% of the time, budget shortfall stems from people not making remittances into the government consolidated account. And that's a bad thing. So it's not going to change anytime soon. The most we can do is for the president to take a stand, at least try to change the culture or impact the culture a little bit. But if nothing is done, man, it's the same old thing. We will just come here and get cry every day, but nothing is going to change. The moment Joseph Boakai leaves the White House, he gets back to Liberia, it's business as usual. And it's already happening even while he's in the White House. So I don't know.
Yeah, and one thing more, one of the problems I see about Liberia, till we can stop this thing here, wherein you only give people government position based on political party affiliation, is not based on qualification. Like, look at this guy here now, taking people, somebody who was just a nursing home director, you make him to be manager. What do you expect for such a people? Okay, people who are just a common classroom teacher, or district education officer, you take them, you make them to be home minister. Let's stop giving people job based on party affiliation or based on contact or because of bribing. You see, this is whether they think I'm not a fan of John Molu, but when John Molu said if people want to work, they should come with their letter, their term of references. That was one of the good things there. If you say, oh yes, Aliyu Masare, oh yes, I've been working in America, let me come with my resume. Look at my resume, my places of where I have been working, the time that I work there. Do some background check. But not because I wore blue t-shirt, I wore green t-shirt or purple t-shirt, and I came with any kind of resume, you just hold it, or somebody just bring me to you, oh mom, you know, that one hour partisan here. And these are some of the things that crippling our country, giving people job not based on qualification, but based on friendship and party affiliation, because it said our political reward is not in heaven. That's one of the main things. You see, so we have to stop this thing. Even I'm a partisan, but give me job that I'm qualified for, something that they feel that I have working. Let me bring my expertise to see what I can change. But you just tell somebody, put them somewhere to go and learn on the job, something that they know nothing about. And but they hold something about the budget shortfall. That way, if President Baka was very serious in fighting corruption as he campaign, we were going to know from the very beginning of this administration. Because the act of even Graceman going to take money for NASCOP, that's another act of corruption. Even before the inauguration of the president, the inauguration fund today they can't get account of that. All of these things. Then how are you fighting corruption when President Baka go out when he speak? You say, oh, I think this man, everything is well in your country. But when you look at the back, that's the opposite. That's why I can say all President Baka's speeches and things, these are just contradiction and deception to we the Liberian people. I see it sometimes that he making mockery out of us. Because when you come out here, what he can say is far more different from what is happening in the country. So these are some of the problems we are faced with. Let's stop giving people jobs because of political party affiliation, because of contact. Let's give people jobs based on their qualification. These are some of the ways we are going to move forward. Other than that, we get a long way to go.
Well, I think you said it all. That's just why it is. It's about the connection. It's about how much you contribute to the campaign. There were people that finance this campaign for the presidency, so they must get their reward, and they believe that that's one of the ways to get their return on investment. Because if I'm going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a candidate and you're going to give me some lucrative position, whether it's at NOCAL, whether it's at the Freeport of Monrovia, whether it's LPRC, or because you're partisan, it's one way to get your payback. So they believe their job is not to put money into the Liberian people's coffers. Their job is to line their pocket and put money into their individual account. That's exactly what's happening. And at the end of the day, they will be budget shuffle. And you said it initially, the only place or the people that will get affected will be the average person, because when they're doing budget shuffle, I mean, that's why you keep hearing the word budget recast. They got to go make adjustment. And when they're making adjustment, it means they are carrying on across the board cut. They're going to make cuts to education, to road funds or road development. They're going to make cuts to healthcare. They're going to make cuts to electricity. So you are the one that's going to pay the ultimate price, even though they are the one that are walking their way, even being richer. But that's Liberia for you. It never changed. I don't know if it's going to change. I just think Liberia won't make progress except we get some kind of a transformational leadership, someone who will just come and change the culture until then. And I don't think Joseph Baka is going to do that, no matter the praises he will get in Washington. At the last time I checked, Washington been praising most of our president anyways. And they will keep telling you that they passed the MCC school card or the condition that were laid out. But when you look at the reality on ground, the total opposite. And we all know how the game has been played in Washington here. So I don't pay attention to these international trips. I will start giving the president some props if we can start seeing some tangible result on ground domestically. That's what we'll be looking up to. But until then, nothing is going to change, my brother. It gets sad. And we on Sktv. At least we just try to break it down here so our people get it. That everybody not playing politics here. We will say the right thing, that the president is doing what is right. And we will call out some of the vices that happen in this country if they're not doing the right thing. And that's what you see happening in the country. The president is on the international stage, in the White House of all places, trying to pull for an economic deal to talk about trade. And the next thing you're hearing from back home, budget shuffle, people not paying money into the government consolidated account. How the American government supposed to interpret that? Why the president is in the White House of all places? Can you imagine? Look at the timing of the release. Budget shuffle on the scene.
Yeah, why if President Trump having to ask him question on that? How is he going to answer it? You see? Yes, these are some. That's why I told people were celebrating. President Baka going to meet President Trump. I said this is not time to celebrate. Okay, like people always say, no, don't refuse a call, but while it's in it, your wait, let President Baka comes. When he go back now, why he taking back to the country before we celebrate? This is not about celebrating. This is time for us to pray, let he come successfully and go back with something good. But everybody celebrating like today. President Trump asking Joseph Baka where he learned good English, he speak beautiful English. He all over the place now like that. So John, I can speak English, Joseph Baka can speak English. Everything is politics. Everything for someone to say he can speak good English. So what does that have to do with the trip that he came from? Will that make any impact on our life because President Baka can speak good English? Like wait, today the first day, we get 2 more days. Let's see how it's going to end. And while we come after the trip, then we start to celebrate.
Oh, yeah, then we start celebrating.
And we pray for him to do something in the interest of our country. President Trump, he put in the interest of America first. So if you can hear, you play your game well, it's up to you. And hey, President Trump not coming to spoon feed you. So let's wait how the game going to end from now to Friday. And what President Baka will take back to the country. And then we start to celebrate. He speak good. Man said when we came in the country, some of us, when we spoke English, people were like, where you coming from?
Where you coming from?
You see other people speaking English, they closing their eyes and teeth, and they bending their head down. They even said no what to talk. And you can hear speaking English, they can ask you, where you coming from? Oh, I said, my country, we speak English, even from elementary to college to high school, everything are only English. They say, oh wow, you people are good. Then one of my friends say you will not suffer for job in the country. You know how many years it takes before I could even learn how to say hello here. I say, so these are some of the things. It's not strange, but people celebrating that celebration. Why we make impact on our life on the African Summit, that why we need to celebrate. So we pray for the best.
Well, that's great. I mean, it's a fair assessment. That's true. People come to this country, they think about speaking English, just a tool. They got people from different countries and different walks of life. Even some, I believe the Senegalese president will be speaking in French, and there will be interpreter to translate. There will be translator there that will be able to communicate. So, I think this one is back. So, like you said, it's not about the English. It's not about the English. It's about recognizing the opportunity and taking the advantage, because it's just a platform that's been given to the president to do something differently. But if you can get the most out of it, then nothing will come. Because the last time I checked, Madam said he spoke perfect English. And Trump always is in the habit of praising African leaders with great communication skills. We saw with Nana Akufo-Addo. Nana Akufo-Addo, when he came to the African summit during the first Trump presidency, he was not one of those that Trump should have met on the side. But because of his oratory skill, Trump requested that he host a one-on-one meeting with Nana Akufo-Addo from Ghana. He's very fluent. He speaks perfect English. And that was, he gained the admiration of the president as well. So, President Bouaga, thanks for the English, thanks for the presentation. But even though we are not there yet, we are just, we still got to go a long way when it comes to benefiting the Liberian people and bringing the goods home. But the news we are hearing from home, it just now, the timing is so bad that you got budget shortfall on the day you are meeting the president of the U.S. the first day. How do you put the two together? How do you thread the needle that you are looking for economic opportunity, commercial, they call it commercial diplomacy, but then in your country, the biggest instrument, the budget, you keep getting budget shortfall. And the primary reason, not because the economy is slowing down, but because people are not making remittances into the state coffers. Can you imagine that, Milburn? It killed the entire narrative of the trip. Your trip is dead on the rubber, because it means even if you are successful in putting some deal in place, the domestic corruption happening back home will still derail. You won't make progress. And that's one of the major problems the Western world does have with Africa when it comes to this rampant and excessive corruption, because it's the number one reason why we're not making progress. It's not about the number of resources we possess. It's all about when you consolidate the resources, right? When you make some money from these resources, the people are not seeing the impact because everything gets lost in corruption. So, Mr. President, I would say your trip so far is hitting turbulence. You're in troubled waters for now. But we'll see what happens next.
Yes, indeed, Mark. Let me say thanks to you and that Brother Ali also for holding on. At least those of you who just joining us, indeed, thank you. Thank you so much for always following the SKTV show, especially from Monday to Saturday, 6 to 8 o'clock. Yeah, so Mark, for me, I'm a bit confused, because if you go out Like for example, you go out and maybe you go ask for things out there, maybe from people or maybe from your neighbors. And so personally, you see one of your child or among your children, you see somebody coming out and maybe saying or maybe showing something to your neighbors that after telling people that you don't have, sometimes you can be confused. You don't even know what to say, and you don't even know what kind of word to really put out. But again, like you just said, we hope and pray that on tomorrow, I'll be making day 2. We hope and pray that at least our president, will be able to maybe talk about the economy and see how best, even if he come back by the grace of God, or even before coming back, let the president be able to get rid of some of these government officials who are not, working in making sure that at least they, bring the money for the people instead of them diverting some of the monies. Every time you follow news or you follow newspaper or you follow the social media, you will see a lot of news about other people diverting monies, some people taking, their own family members and giving them contracts and so forth. So that's why we are living in poverty. So no matter how long our president stay in the US and talk, if he comes back and nothing of all of the talking, all of the working and everything, the negotiation, if don't make any impact in our lives, then that tells you that everything is just free. Like Mon just stated, Madam Salif, for me, I see any president that can easily talk, you go to Madam Salif. No. Among even the 2 presidents. And I see any president, even in the entire Africa. But instead, we are staying in poverty. So, in short, what we are saying is that you should be able to better the lives of your people instead of you giving them this vain talk. When you go back into the Bible, right, Mark? They talk about these people who talk. They put all of the best of words out, and people are just so amazed, and say, yes, this person can talk, this person can speak, this person is this and that. But at the end of the day, what happened? Nothing. Zero impact. So in short, what we are saying is that, please, Mr. President, and all of you that are following and also part of the government, please be able to deliver for your people. Your people are in poverty. Don't mind them, all of them posting today. All that posting they're doing today. Deep down, they are really praising the government because the Monk and myself were always saying is that some of them they feel about voting for a person. That means the person owned them. So
yes, yeah. That the perception that when I vote for Mayborn, I become a slave to Mayborn. Yes, Mayborn own me now. So anything Mayborn do, I should stand with him. That's how we think in our
country. And that's the mindset of our people, about Aliu. And that's just so bad. Even when things are good, if they see us here like we hate, we against, we don't like, and sometimes I don't even get it. But again, that's the mindset of our people that whenever they are supporting this person, don't even talk anything against that person. No. Then I mean you hate the person. No. For me, I will always say this to all of you here on this show until some of us, maybe the opportunity I may give some of us. All of our leaders, they are wicked. You go up, whether it's the past, whether it's the current leaders or whosoever, they are all wicked to us. And they're not doing well for us. They do these things just to put us into poverty. Right again, Monk, let's move on. So for me, Monk, in the entire budget shortfall, I heard you talking about the health sector, maybe the education side, and so forth. But Monk, in the midst of all of these things, I'm now feeling sorry for our people because I'm thinking that, they're the ones that are really going to go through all of these things. Because when the budget shortfall, that means the money that's supposed to go to, for example, maybe Grand Basso Health Center, if the 50,000, that money will be cut down to either 10,000 or 5,000. Some of you, maybe you don't know. These are things that what we say. Whenever you hear about budget shortfall, that means that, for example, if you're supposed to receive 20,000 for your project, you will receive 5,000 because no money. But money will always be there for their salaries. Go ahead, my brother. For me, I think, look, in all of these things, I think our people themselves, they are also agreeing to their own poverty. Because singing, yeah, they're acting like, oh, it's well, you singing, you dancing, good. Anybody become president for Liberia, let me be friends with some of you today and tell you, okay, before more come on. Even if the among the president, the US government will call you. Anybody for that matter, as long as you are president for a country, they will call you for interactions because they had their interest. Mama, go ahead.
Mom, I think Mom doing something in a bike.
Yes, so go ahead, but Ali, go ahead, Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe the whole budget shortfall.
Oh, you guys wasn't hearing me, right?
Yeah, go ahead, Mom.
Oh no, I was saying, I was responding to this question before Milburn went for the news break, and he just asked that question concerning the people that are going to be impacted and why it's always happening. And I was surprised because Milburn has been on this platform. We talk about the lawmakers playbook and those in the executive. There is a reason why they don't put too much money in the public sector investment program. Everything go to payment and recurring budget expenditure, close to 90%. It means like 9 out of every $10 just go to payroll and servicing the government to maintain their own operation. They are not investing it in you. And the more the government invests in themselves, the poorer you become. The less the government invests in yourself, the richer you become. When they say you are richer, it means that the government will put people in line and put money in their pocket. It means that all the things and all the services you benefit, they will be improved. You will get more money for school, quality education, you get better health care, you get medication, you got supplies for health care workers. People will be paid on time, mostly civil servant security and things. That's how you can make your life better. So when they say equal distribution of wealth, that's just where it is. But you live in a country where 9 out of every $10 go to the same people that work in the government. How are you going to make progress? Now, you are already being cheated. Then at the end of the day, when they pass the budget, then they come and cheat you again. It's like adding insult to injury. You are already not getting what you're supposed to get. Then when they pass the budget, you talk about budget shortfall. But the question is, why do you think that it's a budget shortfall? Because the same people that are already stealing from you, they will come and steal from you double, whether they're in the first branch of government or they are in the executive branch, most especially state-owned enterprises. They steal from you for the second time. Then guess what? The reason being, they arrange a budget in a way that they will always get paid first, no matter what. The cut won't come from them. Because the way they look at the budget performance, right? They got a method that they can do disbursement. They look at the budget performance quarter. So what they will do, they will make sure they put money in places where they will get paid first. That's the playbook, and we talk about doing Sktv on so many occasions because they know there will always be budget shortfall. So the issue of budget shortfall is not if it will happen, it's just when it will happen every year, whether at the first quarter, second quarter, or third quarter, but it's bound to happen. And when that happens, who become the one to be the victim again? The same people, because they are not going to cut from money they have already consumed. They are only going to cut from social services and programs that benefit only you, the Liberian people. But it seems like no matter how you talk about this thing, the average person in Liberia just don't get it, and they don't even care. Remember, when you are advocating for people, it's one thing to be an advocate. It's another thing for the people who you are advocating for to accept the fact that you are there to talk for them. In the case of Liberia, the vast majority of the people, they don't care about these things. So you can talk about it from now to Judgment Day, nothing is going to change. How many administrations have we talking about budget shortfall? I can say for the past 20 years, it's been the same old thing about budget shortfall. Why do you think that is the case? Because the people that are being impacted, they don't pay too much attention to details when it comes to the critical national issue. They could care less. Now, the only thing they talk about, Joseph Boga speak perfect English, that was circulating the social media. Can you imagine an economic opportunity for the first time where the most powerful nation in the world is saying we are changing our foreign policy from aid to trade? Nobody talking about Joseph Boga idea. How Joseph Boga can use Donald. You know, Donald Trump, and one guy wrote a famous book called The Art of the Deal. I put it on my page. And Donald Trump made a statement in that book, in one of the direct quotes. Let me just tell you, he said you must know your numbers and you must know the market. He said you should always fight back in your negotiation. He said, when you are entering into a deal, you don't want to force the other guy that you are so desperate in making your deal, and then he will smell blood in the water. That's when he will kill you at the negotiating table. That's Donald Trump direct quote. So in the case of Liberia, who's asking which party is mostly interested in this deal. Because if America, they won't pushing for this deal because they want to checkmate China in Africa, then that's why I posted Joseph Boakai comes with the leverage. But having the leverage is one thing, and getting the most out of the leverage is another thing, because you got to go and execute. But no, nobody cares about that. Joseph Boakai spoke good English. That's the trending issue now on social media for the rest of the day. That's all they care about.
But Ali, what say you before we go to the line to interact with our people? But Ali, okay, yeah. So let me just add up quickly to Mark, and indeed, Mark, you are correct. You know, this country with too old, my people. Look, let's be serious and let's be frank. The issue of us hearing our leaders every time, even when there is little thing, all we want is to just push point. But Ali stated that everything in this country is just about politics. Everything about us, Liberians, is about politics. And the politicians, they are getting rich. These politicians, most of them, their children or their families are not here. These politicians, they have various bank accounts outside. All the politicians, let me tell you today, even US can give $5 billion. You know, you get that money. That same money will go to the budget. That had the money. All the money that Liberia is squandering. When yeah, but Liberia squandering, all this squandering thing they get doing. So when the money go into the budget, then for example, this year budget, they say it is 7.9%. You imagine, will go for salaries, it will go for other expenditure, it will go for all kinds of things. Then 12.1% will go for what? Will go for development. That's why your children are staying into some of these schools. Yes, seriously, Monk, sitting on the floor. But because you don't care, the people, they already finish, you know, Lord Monk, I don't know how to open the minds of our people. But I think the politicians, they already succeeded.
Oh,
and yes, and it will take time. Yeah. Monk, because our people, they don't care. Budget shortfall. What's going to happen next? And you will go to the hospital tomorrow, and you will start to abuse or cause the nurse or the doctor.
Yeah.
There's no drugs there. Yesterday, yeah. Hey, no. But you're forgetting to go back to your government that's supposed to put this in there. So it is 7.9%. Go for the five, I don't know how to even describe them. The president, the vice president, the speaker, the deputy speaker, and now the Senate pro tempore. Five of them, their budget is
no, but maybe you are going too far. The bigger news of today supposed to be Joseph Boakai is making the deal in the White House for the first time with a new economic opportunity. And the biggest news, the biggest bombshell is happening in his own country on the same day, that you got a budget shortfall, that people who work directly with the president within the executive under his supervision, they are not making remittances into the state's own cover. What that tell you? It killed Joseph Boakai whole or photo ops in the White House, because that's the biggest bombshell that could ever come out. I mean, look at the timing. We're talking about the same day. The issue was released today. So it means it contradicts the president's entire trip, because even if we are successful in getting a better deal here, if we cannot take care of business at home, my brother, then why is the essence of coming to the U.S. to say looking for economic opportunity and you want to bring about prosperity? You don't bring about prosperity by stealing from poor people. And that's what happened in the country. You got a huge budget shortfall. There will be across the board cut to some of the services that ordinary Liberians enjoy, whether it's healthcare, whether it's education, whether it's infrastructure, road fund, and all these things. No, they are going to be the victim. But guess what? Today is about the English and the oratory skill. And that's just what it is.
Now I know now that, look, now I understand Liberians. No wonder why the politicians will continue to do them like this. Now I understand. Because people, they don't care more. No, now I know now the bulk of our people, they don't care. All they care about, no. So some of you now, even if you want to even protest, who will even listen to you? Because you don't care.
You don't care.
You don't care. That's the thing. So when you're gonna, so even if there's flooding going on, you have disaster management that is supposed to get maybe 10,000, but budget shortfall. How much they will get a month?
For me, just on the show, when we're talking about the illegal transaction from your central bank to the tune of 187 million, that you don't have any receipt to validate the transaction. How many of them were even able to call on the show to say that they were mad, that they were angry? No. Matter of fact, they attacked you myself more than the news that we were giving. So you want me to believe that because of budget shortfall, you're not going to take that seriously? No. It's all about how entrenched the society is when it comes to the politics, and the politicians have succeeded. That's why we have reduced Liberia to nothing more than United Party and CDC, even though there are tons of opportunity and that we could explore in terms of different individuals that could give a whole different perspective of the presidency. But guess what? It's always about the politics and who versus is this tit for tat and this versus that. That's just what happened in Liberia. And maybe the trip, the meeting today, you see what I tell people all the time. I say, back in the days, presidency used to be about politics, but we live in an industrialized war. Every major problem in the world happening today, the underlying condition is because of an economic advantage one country won over another. Whether it's the European Union, whether it's America, whether it's Russia or China, every single major power broker is playing for one thing and one outcome only, to get an economic advantage. That's why you want business leader leading the country. Because at the
when
end
you go deeper into that conversation, you will also maybe in fact, President Trump said that Liberia has one of the highest rate of people staying in the US, 80%, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? They are
not talking about that. That alone, you know what it means for your president to come on the kind of summit, taking the world greatest leader to be talking about your people coming in the country and overstay. That alone, it should be a shame to us. You see, look at the Freeport. You know the amount of money those people generating for that port, and Joseph Baka is on record for that. That when he win election, we're never going to hear about CTN metal at the port today. Where are we? We still get CTN, we still get metal at the port. Look at the charges at the port now. We are shaping like one of my continue hit the port this morning. I can remember 2023. I sent a Toyota Highlander 2006 to Liberia. I paid 1,600 to clear the car from the port. 2024, the same car, 2006 Toyota Highlander, make a model. I pay up to 3,350 to clear the car. The charges is just high to the port. Now the container we get to the port, they gave you 5 days grace period. When you go pay your money, they say system down. They will be doing it like 5 days elapse and they putting charges on your container. You will go to get a container and they say the cream is down. No cream. All that one they putting charges on you. Who responsible for all of these things? And the vice president, when he went to the port, and all why he said it was true. You're just putting charges on all things that we supposed to pay for, we paying for them.
Yes, you're right.
The government, they generating the money. What can they do with it? You know the money they're generating from that port? And Teku Duple is not putting money into the budget. Then why is he doing with the money? Where is the money going? On the China with the president secretly? Maybe that where money coming from to build a $10 billion presidential palace.
Oh God!
I want to question before you go to the land, right?
Yeah.
You know, even though there is an economic opportunity that Liberia could take advantage of, do you know why the whole issue about English and oratory skills took center stage? I just want you to guess.
Well,
what do you think?
I think they are doing it just to buy maybe other sentiments, or maybe to buy other people and to kill other political happening. For example, maybe the protest, or maybe to kill maybe these some of the corruption news and budget shortfall and so forth. For me, I'm not saying the entire thing.
No, that's not the reason. You know, in Liberian politics, it's El Clasico. It's always CDC for the Unity Party. That's what the country too. And Georgia is not good when it comes to speaking English. So in the world of the Unity Party partisan, they could care less about the outcome. They could care less about the deal that Joseph Boga will strike. They could care less about the leverage and the opportunity. The reason that Joseph Boga speaks better than George Weah is a win for them. That's why the whole issue of English took center stage today. That's the only.
It's a win for them. It's a win. Liberia province solved.
That's it. But go to the line. Let's take calls.
077031225. That's the number to call this evening to be part of the SKTV show right here on Truth FM. To this first caller, David King. Good evening.
Good evening, neighbor.
Yeah, my brother. Go ahead.
You You see, maybe the reason we will have budget shortfall, can you imagine, maybe we have two separate ministries now working, granting licenses and vehicle registration. We have the Liberia Transport Management issuing licenses at the same time. The Ministry of Transport issuing license. They're doing vehicle registration. Traffic management doing vehicle registration as well. And these guys, the legislature did not approve that being here. Okay, the we government refused. This government can enforce them without legislation, but they are there doing work in favor of Liberia and Leonie men getting the remittances. So we'll have the kind of budget shortfall because the government is in disarray. They do not know what they are doing in this country. And we Liberians, instead of us sitting and thinking twice about our own future and our children's future, we are there taking political party. It's no longer a political party. This is why some of us have sat down in our very corner and we have come up with a conclusion that we will join the protest in making sure that Joseph Baga and a bunch of gangsters he have brought to the country to steal for the Liberian people and keep your hand on poverty and make them to understand that Liberia is not for them, but Liberia is for every Liberian, not few group of people.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, Mabel. How are you today?
Yes, I'm okay. Thank God for life.
Okay, my name is Mamu Sefu. I'm calling you from Broadville. I call really, first of all, to just look at the statement that the president made, and where he said he's asking for an opportunity in order to make a survey of that according to Mabel, according to Mo, he said it right, that it's confusing, and it could be you as Mabel how you understood along with Masale that the government is asking. It's also possible another could be thinking that give us an opportunity, whether it is the government itself that is going to do the survey, that is not clear. So that is one area that we all need to just get it. If it is in the opinion that he's asking, then that is not good for us. But as long as whatever opinion it is, it's not clear, it's just blanket, we all hope that it means that Liberia will come back and be able to settle and make sure that they can do their own survey. That is one aspect of my discussion. The second one has to do with the budget shortfall. To tell you the truth, budget shortfall in this country is really an issue because the projections that can always be made, sometimes it can be so much, and I don't know, out of the reality. Okay. For example, if you say you expect to go to $1 billion, the basis that you are laying, you are not an industrial, you are only relying on taxes and levies. If all these things they don't come forth, or international interplay comes into the economic or situation, you're going to have it. It happens just the way or more said, it happens government in, government out, government.
All right, thank you so much. Today's caller, good evening. Yes, go ahead, Uncle.
My name is John Papa, and I call from Kingsville. But I think we heard what the American president said. They are not changing from aid to international relationship.
Indeed.
So all we have to do is to value whatsoever we have, and tell anyone who comes to invest that, look, we will have this as our share within the investment that you have come to do. I think that will work out well for us. We issue the budget for. I used to hear many Liberians talking about budget for. Because maybe we don't pay taxes in this country. One area where we are very, very poor in paying taxes are real estate. Think of the amount of horses. Just the horses in Maserado County. If every horse was just paying even $20 a year, you know that would mean to extend it out of Maserado to other parts of the country. We don't pay taxes.
All right.
We have to be blamed as citizens. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Because we are not paying taxes, that's why our budget always getting short. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, Mabel.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even to your fellow parliament, even to your many listeners. This is force of either side and joining from Sokoto District 4.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you see to the issue of budget shortfall. I think they ask a question, what the meaning of it to the Liberian people, to the common people. Therefore, do you know that as of now, the salary payment of civil servants are they delayed?
Yeah, that's the unconfirmed report I've been getting information. But go ahead.
Some agency and ministry are not taking pay. Do you know, as I speak, even the police and the government is depending on to go there for protesters to do whatever. Do you know that the police are not taking pay?
Go ahead, my young man.
They are not taking salary. They are not taking salary. But somebody will write on Facebook, English competition is going on. Somebody spoke go in there, or in the hospital, go in there, or whatever. Can that solve the problem that we are facing now in our current day? Is it part of current reality solution? Is it part of it? But as I conclude quickly, neighbor, we said to the Liberian people that this our president, Mr. President, as Kennedy, that this Kennedy is looking at no solved problem in the past. Wherever he went to, they destroyed. Whether it was the CPP, whether it was the United Party, whether it was the PNC, wherever he went, Ministry of Agriculture. Because that means that the Blue Revolution was the Green Revolution was destroyed by Blacka when he was there. He destroyed the 1.4 million that was set aside for the Green Revolution. So he's carrying it all over. Now the last era is Liberia. As we said now, Liberia will be so one money and we hear that Jesus across the good back to sell.
All right. Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. Quickly, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, neighbor. Thank you for your show. Neighbor?
Yes, go ahead, my brother.
Okay, thank you. For me, tonight, I just want to ask one a question. Tonight, I want you to, I want to assume that you are the president of America. And president of...
Well, I don't know what kind of question you were asking, but I think you got to call back. Your line giving a little trouble time. To this caller, Charles Cooper, good evening.
Good evening, Mabel.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
Good evening to Mo and the rest of the panelists. Mabel, let me speak quickly on two issues. One, which had to do with the budget shortfall. Mabel, the news of a budget shortfall for me is of no news, because I saw this coming from the very beginning, especially the way our budget, the 2025 budget, was passed on a 10G scale, on an illegal majority block. I just knew that there's going to be a budget shortfall. And I posted it on my page that very day when the budget was passed, because as you may be aware, the budget was passed on a 10G scale or speed. So, and it was passed by the so-called majority bloc, and because they had a motive. So for me, the issue of budget shortfall, budget shortfall King Kong is back. So it's not a strange thing. We have budget shortfall King Kong coming back to power. So that is not a news for me. The only issue of this good English competition that is between the CDC and the United Party.
Go ahead.
Yeah, on the competition between the CDC and the United Party, I want to say something. Maybe we now have presidents upon president that have spoken good English in this country. Madam Sally, she was one of the most eloquent women in the world. She spoke all of the good English around here. But maybe what we have failed to know is not good English that develops a nation. It is good work or hard work that develop a nation. Liberia, we are still joking when it comes to leadership, maybe. That's why I have told you over time that leadership why this country is cursed. And if we don't stand very strongly to break this curse, we are in a complete vicious cycle for the next 2,000 plus years until maybe Jesus in return. We are not going anywhere.
All right, thank you so much. And some of people are saying, okay, yes, because maybe during the turn of Manaseli, or I know John Bush gave book, so the country interested. Let me see right now. So let's call a good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Margaret, more quality. can govern this country. Thank you.
Thank you. I will go to the WhatsApp line to pick few calls from also from the WhatsApp. But not easy. The people are saying yes. I think the president will speak more than that because job will get them book. Look, let me make a book for every day. You're too interested in the country. Today's caller, good evening. Yeah, good evening.
I don't know what are the breaking news and reach your station.
Which one?
The government of Liberia is on its way to Central Bank to borrow $30 million to pay salary and remittances. I don't know what a Liberian would know about that. I think that could be an important issue to discuss. They're talking about who's speaking good English and who's not speaking good English. They're throwing the fact that they are collecting surplus. Why is it? The question is, why is it? Are they going to the Central Bank to borrow money to pay salary? The government of Liberia now is on its way to Central Bank to get salary for the government worker. They're taking surplus. They're getting all of this. Why are they going to borrow from the Central Bank? Thank you.
And then the money they put there again, anytime they can go for the money, man. So that's called a good evening.
Yeah, good evening, because Lib and good evening to your panel.
Yeah, go ahead quickly, man.
I listened to our president today and what to our president, I guess, after our president, I guess, with our taxpayer money for going in the US. All the things they mentioned about Toronto, how our president say, where he this from, is a sad for our country. I know what you're doing, what they're
My man, the man speaking. The man is, yeah, you call those of you on the WhatsApp are taking WhatsApp call quickly. Then I cross over here. They don't remember. No, when we come here, we are serious. Stop. They are joking thing. Some of you, you're by yourself. They got over that a book that George Bush said. We're gonna book that book. I don't know what other George Bush says in a book. I think George Bush, man, said the first year, right? Or first 6 years time. Yes.
Yeah, it was but I said the first year when they sent this book to Liberia. That time when I was working with the Norwegian Refugee Council, we were building libraries all around breaking Makati, bombing Bapolu. Yes, with this book. Yes, it was that time.
So people are not saying that because of the book, the one page is up. I beg you, man. Today's caller, good evening.
Hey, how are you, neighbor? How are you?
I'm okay, my dear brother. It's just too interesting.
Man, our country is interesting now. Instead of us being like we talking about English, neighbor, there's almost like the first about 8 or 10 countries that receive the highest amount of money for apparatus. Nobody speak English. Never speak English. Somalia even get more money than Liberia. So how are we so stupid? Instead of us thinking about the thing the man went there for, and he said nothing about it. We get this much in English. It's just man, bye, man. I'm tired of this country. Never selling.
All right. Funny. Thank you.
Papa Joe, I can speak English. Papa can speak English. You want my talking? We're talking. Papa can speak English.
Yeah, man.
So I can speak English.
Let me take just I'll call you quickly. My brother, see, they want Jabo quickly on the WhatsApp. See, they want call back. So as soon as they taking them, we'll cross over to our team of panelists, or maybe take 1 or 2 more calls back home. Yeah, let me see the other call quickly. Hello, today's caller. Good evening. Look, to a number and be easy. Hello. Yeah, but dear, good evening. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, everybody. This is GT Warrior calling from Canada, and I want to say hello to you and hello to the Liberian people. So, just today we're listening to President Waka at the African Summit, and I don't know what Joseph was trying to play, but I think it's kind of playing game, because if we can remember that President Waka told us doing his State of the Nation address with the protest. He said we already did our survey for our mineral, and he was already naming all the kind of mineral that we have and things. He even named the whole periodic table, the kind of mineral and thing that we have in the soil. But to my surprise, that he's asking the American people again, like, okay, I want you to come to solve. You have lots of mineral and things. So I don't know why you want the American people to come.
Maybe that resolve. You know, sometimes when you survey your house certified, you can do another survey.
Okay. Maybe when you have from the American perspective, say 15 years when the Chinese people are. Anyway, we'll see it that way, maybe. But and one more thing again to the Liberian people, I just want to say that the protest that is coming out, we are encouraging every Liberian to come out and exercise the right and thing. And if you feel that
You want to know the truth about what actually happened at the. You want to know the truth about the fire, everything. You should come out and think. If you feel your children are not getting the education that they deserve, and if you feel you're not safe to walk in the street at night, and you are sick and tired of corrupt government official, and you cannot pay higher taxes, then you should come out on the thing to protest. That's your right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I think the entire protest starting from the 15th or to the 17th. Maybe tomorrow we'll come on tomorrow. We'll chip in on all of the disagreement, the agreement, who send letter, who not send letter, what are they have been given, I know permit, you know, so many things happening with our protesting. And you know, we have been talking about that here because some of you, yeah, you've been thinking what happening. But we'll talk about that maybe tomorrow we'll have time. If not so, I wanted Sidinwa Jabo, man. Yes. Those of you calling, please stop. Sidinwa Jabo call in quick. Yeah, okay, good. Let me see quick. Let me take in them crossover. Hello?
Thank you. I think the talk will just started for the 15th or the 17th. Maybe tomorrow we'll come on.
Yeah, Sidinwa, go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mabel. You getting me?
Yes, I'm getting you, man. Jabo, go ahead.
I'm Sidinwa Jabo calling from Florida State, precisely Jacksonville City. Good afternoon, my brother Mark and Aliu. I just want to just take on 2 points. Maybe when we were in school, in the classroom, some people can be good at English language.
Oh, yes.
Some people can be good at mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can be
Science.
good at history and
science
whatsoever.
courses and so forth.
So this issue is not a debate. Some Liberian students learning Chinese to LBS. The Chinese people, they want big bridge, they get big bridge in Chinese. The Japanese want big bridge, they get big bridge in Japanese. If you go Singapore, they big bridge in their language. If you go to Arab country, Saudi Arabia, that are Arabic, they can speak to develop the country. So that is not a debate at all.
All right.
The thing is that the president should have a strategy. You can't go in a boxing ring and you don't know how to attack your opponent. Push your debate. And remember, it's pushing a debate. Liberia will not get aid again. This is straight. You bring to the table what you bring to the table, you push your case, they both push the case, you balance it out. Simple. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. The all over the number copy. Look, Roof, you please stop. Aliu, and that more we gotta go on here. The people you want to bring trouble to someone. Which one be yes, sir? But yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not taking him. Anywhere you go. No, actually the papa is homo. Some of you that he say the papa homo. Anyway, may always respect people that I like about. But go ahead, Business Monk, and that Ali gotta go on.
Yeah, thanks to the callers and those people in the comment section for taking their time to always participate on the show. Liberia is all we have. Like for me, I will say it. I don't know how. If America, this is where I live now. This is where I work. I pay my taxes and what have you. So when I pay my taxes, I want to benefit from my taxes. Not to be taking it and giving it to any other country to go and enrich themselves. No, my children need better education. They need better health care and everything that they need. So the taxes we pay here, we should be able to benefit from it. So President Trump, I stand with you, put the interests of America first. President Boakai, I stand with you, put the interests of Liberia first. But first of all, I stand with President Trump. Not be taking our money and giving it out. Now it's give and take. President Boakai, man, I said he spoke all the BP English. Where is Liberia today? All our leaders spoke all the BP English. But send Liberia everything now a unity party, a CDC, John Biya can speak English, Joseph Boakai can speak English. You'll be ready to hold your social media. For some of us, we get interest in that. Why we get interest in what President Boakai is going to take by that will make Liberia a better nation, so that tomorrow when we come back, we can get a good place to be. That's all. So far so good. President Trump keep pushing the interests of America. President Boakai keep pushing the interests of Liberia. God bless America. God bless Liberia. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, Mark. What say you?
Yeah, I had to step out. I never listened to most of the callers, but I think Ali said it all. It's an opportunity, but you got to go out there and make things happen. And I just hope the president can focus more domestically, even though it's a good thing to come and look for new economic opportunities. But if you cannot make things work back home, it will be useless. And the people who running with the credit of speaking good English and great presentation skill and oratory skill, at the end of the day, those things aren't going to matter. It's very good when it comes to negotiation. English is just a tool that you could use to communicate. And if you are very good at that, that's a plus. But at the end of the day, it's not going to change the trajectory in the country. It's not going to shift any economic policy. We want to see the president mostly focused domestically, in as much as he's out there looking for new economic prosperity and economic opportunity and trade deals to make Liberia a better place. So we say again, America knows what they want. Can I make the case if Joseph Boakai is fully aware about what he wants? I don't know. Most especially with people stealing from state-owned enterprises under his direct supervision. I don't know, but we hope that everything turns out for the betterment of the Liberian people. But I see you guys. I don't know. Maybe I will catch you guys next week. I'm not sure about the rest of the week. I just wanted to pop in today to carry the team.
All right.
But we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mark, and thank you, Brother Aliu Masale, for always taking off your time, at least to be with us here on the SKTV show, especially from Monday all the way to Wednesday, maybe on hopefully on tomorrow, the rest of the team. Mose will be here with us tomorrow. Obviously, Steve Bode and Mr. Connor will be here with us tomorrow, and I guess it will be hot. I know most of you, whenever these people are on, you know, it's always firing, you know. So we'll be here tomorrow again to come and tell you these things. You know, Liberia is all we have, and people, no matter what you do, people call us every night and day just for little or nothing. And because they are not working, nothing to do. People are not tend to back us. People are backing here and there. Even those people are working, they're no different between a working class and not working class. So you see, that's why when we come here, we come with all of our heart. We're not come here for your CDC, you know, the party or whosoever your thing that you want to sell out there. It's up to you people. But for some of us, make life better for our children and for ourselves. Thank you and good night. We'll catch you when we catch you. That will be on tomorrow. Aliu, thank you so much, my dear brother. And we'll see you again on tomorrow.
Bro, you're welcome. Okay, brother. Be safe out there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, brother Aliu. So, folks, we go home. We go home for the day. And thanks to all of you. Yes, you robbers bring back. Good night to all of you. Good night. Yes, sir, madam, sir. Don't be.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Foreign people who waiting to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us care and the promise of them. So welcome my life without care.
A lyrical health.
Master.
Cleverly, so make you. I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can ask my jamo. And yes, I know money. And I know. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I quadruple ya to money, and I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I quadruple ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the biggie, and I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Foreign people who waiting to sell. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, Sanu to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.